What's up, guys? uh, Hold on a second. Perfect. Okay, what's up, guys? I got my computer back. Hola, Lisa, TJ. Happy Wednesday, everybody. So, Trump's clean. Great. David, what's up, brother? Everybody say hi to David. Thomas, he's the man. Let me see. Okay, perfect. It's working now. Okay. It's working. It's working. Alex, hermano Alex Gonzalez. Hey, Ariel.
Hey, what's happening, Marco? ¿Cómo anda?
Bien, bien, bien. ¿Y tú?
Bien, gracias a Dios. Can't complain.
You're all high tech with that green wall behind you.
Oh, no, I'm not that high tech because it's green now. If not, there'd be something else back there.
Oh, okay. So you were telling me how does that work? You have a program, and then you can put any background you want.
Yeah, no, in our particular case, we do that. We use a software that I can basically green screen or change my background to whatever I need. Hey, Alex, what's going on? ¿Cómo anda?
Hey,
So, yeah,
Alex needs to join us on that America TV thing you got going on.
I would say so. I asked him a bunch of times, so let's see what goes on with it. So, dime, vamos a hablar hoy de qué, de
The,
impeachment.
the impeachment. I saw that. Hi, Angie. Everybody say hi, Angie. Angie is an angel mom. She lost her son to an illegal immigrant.
Mm,
She's in
that's correct.
Sacramento. But hey, yeah, impeachment. So I saw you did a video on impeachment, and impeachment is not necessarily. I mean, it's a questioning the integrity of a high official, right? It's not necessarily getting rid of somebody. It's the beginning of it.
Okay, I mean, yeah, that's the first thing. People have to understand really what impeachment is. Everybody freaks out and they automatically believe that impeachment means removal from office. Impeachment is not necessarily removal from office. So far there's only been two presidents in American history, one being Richard Nixon and the other one Bill Clinton, ironically, who have been impeached. Okay, and neither one was removed from office. Um, in the case of Bill Clinton, the impeachment was really practically useless, because he stayed in. And in the case of Nixon, it was probably a little more effective because really they cornered him to the point where he pretty much had to resign. And the way that impeachment works, just so you get an idea, is the House of Representatives is basically the one that brings, typically, the one that brings forth the process of impeachment. And impeachment is really more of think of it like an indictment, an accusation in court. Okay, but an accusation that's pretty much been confirmed. Then, from there it goes on to the Senate, and the Senate at that point, it becomes more of a trial by jury kind of thing, or basically they find guilt. Okay, in the process. So the end of the story is it's all BS. Okay, they know very, very well that they're not going to impeach him. Okay, but what this is nothing more than a distraction. It's a distraction to stop him from doing his work, to stop him from doing what he has to do. Okay, you create enough chaos and you create enough controversy, and you distract from the job at hand. So if they
You
can
know,
keep him busy for the next 4 years.
you know what? I'm very familiar with an official um, government accusation because in California, I was accused by the Department of Real Estate breaking uh, real estate law, and psychologically, it wore me down so much that I ended up just working out a deal with him. And I gave in. But now thinking about it, I should have not. I should have just fight him back, and I would have probably won, most likely, because the accusation was very, just like this, dramatic. It wasn't something solid. He didn't have a very good business factor. But yeah, so if they can bring impeachment proceedings, they can take over the next 4 years with a bunch of just a distraction, like you said, a necessary distraction.
That's it. It's just a necessary distraction. This is all. If this is moved beyond contesting the legitimacy, how legitimate the win is, and it's moved beyond that. They figured out already. There's no point in contesting whether he's legitimate or not. I think they progressed beyond that. Now they're at the point where, okay, they know he's here. They know they got to deal with him. So let's tie him up. Let's keep him busy, and let's stop him from executing his agenda for the next 4 years. That's the plan. And then create enough chaos and enough whatever to make it difficult for him to be reelected in the next 4. That's all this boils down to, man. And, to me, what I see, like you said right now, is that he goes from a process of governing to what you said from your own experience. He goes into a process of defending. Okay, so he's now, he's basically employing 80% of his time defending. Okay, and to me, what's really shameful is, for example, down here in Dade County, our particular politicians, our Republican politicians, are the first ones that are calling for this impeachment process. So, I mean, that to me is the most ridiculous thing, because, I mean, we can expect it from the Democrats. Okay, that's a given. But to have your own party turn against you, and I think it's not even fair to say that they turned against him. If we're going to analyze exactly the way that things happen here, I think basically what made Trump so successful during the campaign is probably what is working the most against him right now. Okay, he is an outsider. He doesn't have a tight circle of friends and relations and people that he's conducted business with for a certain amount of time inside that Congress, inside that Senate. Maybe he has as a businessman, but not as a politician. So what worked for him, being an outsider where everybody wanted the outsider, well, now he's on the inside and he has nobody around him that he can work with. And I think that's the main problem. I think, honestly, except for his family and probably Mike Pence, I wouldn't trust a single person there, Rosie.
So it's like the new kid in town, He's the new kid in town, basically.
It's a new kid in town, but the problem is that the new kid in town is upsetting people and it's hurting their pockets. Okay, everything always boils down to money, and no matter how you want to look at it, everything boils down to money. And you have an establishment, you have a group of people, and let's not lose focus of what establishment is. It doesn't make a difference whether we're talking about Democrat, Republican. Doesn't make a difference what side of the aisle they're on. These are people who are entrenched. They have been there for decades. They have their way of doing business and their backhand deals and everything that goes on. And no one can tell me that they don't have their backhand deals, because a $160,000 or $180,000 job, whatever a senator makes, does not produce millions worth of net worth. Okay, it's absolutely impossible. So these people are used to doing that, and they see the fear of their pocket being hurted. They see the fear of term limits being implemented. The gravy train is coming to an end. And when you do that, people are going to fight back. They're not just going to take
it. And I see something. I see that some of them, it's not just about money too, but they have been humiliated to where Donald Trump has pretty much showed them that he has exposed them, and I think they feel very angry. They feel that they have to fight back.
I think that's particularly the case with the media. Okay, I mean, typically the way, and particularly the Republicans, the way that they typically worked is the Democrats go on the hunt. They, the media is their tool, so they let the dogs loose. They let the media loose. on whatever Republican they happen to pick, and the ethical thing, the decorum, the way that they operate is they back down and they let these people walk all over them. And this is not the case in Donald Trump. We know that basically he's a hard hitter, So when this guy gets punched once, he punches back 3 times. And and I don't think they're used to that. I think that they can't accept that that at this point he's still going out there. He's still calling them fake news. He's still calling them corrupt. Okay, they can't handle that. They expected that by now they would have broken him and he would be, kissing the ring, so to speak, like in The Godfather.
He's not afraid. He's not afraid of them.
The thing is, it's not so much only that he's not afraid of them. It's they didn't make him. Typically the media has a big role. Candidate for a run, but really the media here did the opposite. They tried as much as possible to be as derogatory as possible when it came to Trump. So they're not responsible for creating Donald Trump. They're not responsible for creating the movement, people like you and me. Okay? So they have no control to destroy it.
Let's talk a little bit about that, because there is a disconnection with all that deep state, because it has come down to the core. So that's why they're calling the deep state are the ones that are fighting back. But then there's all of us here. And I see that here in California, where really we don't even know what the face of the Republicans is here. There is a new, somebody was asking me, Marco, do you think we are the new face of the Republicans? And I told them, well, I don't think the Republicans have a face right now.
I don't think they do.
I don't think the GOP has a face.
I don't think they do, man. I think these people, a lot of them, we all know were never Trumpers. They didn't support him. They're married to him now, so to speak, because they have no choice. He was the winner, and he but a lot of these people, make no mistake, up to the very last day, many of them said it crystal clear. They preferred to have a Hillary Clinton victory, lose the presidency, and try again in 4 years. Okay, and they had the failed mentality that in 4 years they could come back with a Marco Rubio or a Ted Cruz or whoever it is and try again, because what the media and that's what the Democrats kept telling them was the right plan. Yeah, if you remember the Democrats coming out and CNN and MSNBC and all the analysts will say, well, what they need to consider is removing, being in the primaries and basically pushing somebody like Marco Rubio through, a conservative, and blah, 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 blah. Okay, and every time I saw a Democrat, every time I saw a CNN analyst and all the professional political commentators tell the Republicans what they need to do, it was always very funny to me, because I have never met an enemy of mine that has ever given me advice on how to beat him. You?
I was listening to Alex. I was listening to Alex the other day, and he was saying in Spanish, he was saying that the mainstream media, with all this machine and we defied, you and me and everybody else, we defied the media and we won, and they're not happy.
Listen, at the end of the day, am I coming across, or are we cut?
You were freezing a little bit.
Yeah, you're like freezing a little bit every once in a while too. That's probably the Russians.
Okay. Yeah, the Russians, definitely.
Whenever anything goes wrong.
I have the best Wi-Fi here. I have like the Comcast fastest and everything. So I don't know.
Me too, man. Me too. But as I'm telling you, it's those Russians. My whenever I have one of my girls, they're very young, but they're pretty smart, and they watch a lot of news with me. Y ahora, whenever they do something wrong, and they're gonna get in trouble or whatever. Oh, it's the Russians did it. So, the Russians seem to be paying the price for everybody.
So, Ariel, you did yesterday when you did your video, you were talking about all this money. So all these people, basically, they have to regroup themselves, and they don't like it, right? They have to make new connections. In other words, he's cleaning house. I mean, he's really draining the swamp. Everybody needs to reset, and they don't like it.
I think that's the problem. I think the whole problem is that he's actually doing what he said he was going to do. Okay, and a lot of people are very worried. They're very concerned for their pockets. Like we talked about yesterday, and we'll go through it again today. If you want, take for example the Washington Post. Washington Post is the major architect of all these problems. Okay, they are the ones with the hit story with no facts behind it, but they're the ones putting out all these stories about the leak and the of classified information from Trump. And now Comey's memo and everything else that goes along. There's a reason that these people are hitmen for the left. Okay, and I'll go through it one more time, but basically this company is owned by Jeff Bezos, which is also the owner of Amazon. Okay, and the owner of Amazon has a very big issue when it comes to taxation and antitrust problems. And I don't think it's a surprise to any of us if you use Amazon that Amazon is an absolute monopoly and a powerhouse. Okay, and because I mean they do absolutely everything that there possibly is to do now. They've taken Walmart and gone that much further, monopolizing everything around them. So, Donald Trump went on the warpath and he critiqued that during the campaign. And the moment he did that, it was an open season invitation for the Washington Post, who's owned by the owner of Amazon, to basically become a hitman, a political hitman. So this is not news. This is not reporting. This is not journalism that these people are doing. For the first time in history, they are putting out stories. You have news agencies putting out stories, and in the story, admitting that they have no facts. And these stories are being used as fact.
I
don't know if you can hear me or we broke.
In business,
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. But let's analyze now the situation with okay, James Comey and the memo. Yeah, let's analyze James Comey and the memo. Okay, let's suppose that James Comey wrote a memo. I can write a memo and you can write a memo too. What does that mean? I mean, I'm pretty sure James Comey knew that his time was coming. He's not a dumb man, and he's pretty intelligent. I'm pretty sure he knew his time was coming. So to me, a memo is really insignificant, and especially from a man who stood in front of the American people, who gave us a complete and thorough case. I don't see the credibility behind an individual like this, or any memo or anything that he could put out. I don't know if I'm cutting out, Marco, because it looks like you're cutting out.
Let me see. One second, guys. I lost him for a little bit, but yeah, basically he's talking about this non-admissible evidence. I'll bring him back in a minute, but let me see. Alex was saying that memo is not hard evidence. Yeah. Um, in business, there's a lot of things that are done like that in business, guys. It's called a calculated risk. You know, you take a risk, you assess the danger of you pretty much lying versus the outcome of your business transaction. And a lot of banks do calculated risks. They take calculated risks. So I think that's what the newspaper is doing. They're taking a calculated risk. They know the outcome is best for them than the risk they're taking. But let me bring him back. Tracy. Oh, you're back.
Okay.
Okay.
I think we're back. Can you see me okay? Yeah.
So I was telling them that in business, we call it a calculated risk. That sometimes we make decisions that we just see that the risk is great, but the outcome, you know, it works out at the end. These guys, they know they're lying, but they're running with it.
Oh, they absolutely know they're lying. I mean, absolutely. And our communication is cutting off, but I think it's
the Russians. The Russians again.
those damn Russians, man. We can't seem to get them out of the broadcast.
Yeah. We lost like half of the viewers.
Yeah, right. I myself don't worry too much about the impeachment thing. I don't think it's going to happen. I think what's more important is to realize, like I said, their focus. And as long as we keep an eye on what their focus is, and as long as we all stay focused on what our own goals are, okay, we'll be fine. I think the major issue at hand here that we have is 2018, is weeding out all this garbage that we have, draining the swamp, okay, if we will, because it's going to be very difficult for this man to execute anything, as we can see right now, because they're basically making his life, impossible. And when he says, by the way, that no one has been treated as unfairly in this and the other, in this case, what Trump tweeted out, I'm not so sure that no one has been treated as unfairly, but I can tell you one thing. It's definite that no one has had these many different groups ganging up on him.
And that is bad. That really makes us look bad to the world, you know, because we're supposed to be a civilized society where things should be worked and things should be resolved on the merits, you know, on the issues, on the facts, and this seems that it's just they're just blowing things out of proportion, and we don't really know that's the ultimate goal, is to just get people's attention and demoralize the base, like you and me.
And, there's a comment here from a gentleman named Rolando. If you see it, he says he should not go overseas, tengo miedo. And I'll be honest with you, I kind of agree on that. I think he has to be very careful where he goes at this moment in time. And not only overseas, but in the U.S. Like I said, these people, they're not letting this go. They're going to fight back with everything they've got. Okay? This is like when you have a dog and you just beat him into a corner, okay, and he has nowhere else left to go and it's life or death. That's how these people are at the moment. Okay? They're in a corner. This is their time. If this man succeeds and he comes through with the campaign promises that he's laid out, okay, there's going to be a lot of people losing a lot of money, a lot of power, a lot of influence. Because I think also for a lot of these people, by the way, it transcends money. It's beyond money. Okay, it's about power. It's about influence. It's about having control. and they can't quite come to terms with the fact that that control is gone. See, I think we have two different agendas going on the way I see it. You have the Democrat agenda, which is, in my opinion, what it has always been, which is turning this country into a socialist or even worse, communist nation. And then you have the Republican agenda, which is to continue to make money, whatever way they've been making money till now, and to continue to have power and influence to dictate over society as if they were basically gods among men here. Okay, the roles here have been reversed, and they forget that they are public servants and they work for us. Okay, and that's to me, Marco, that's the most important thing, and most important value and characteristic that I have always appreciated about Donald Trump. This man is used to being in a position of power. This man is a businessman that has had the absolute best wines, best food, best cars, homes, hottest women, okay, that he can want. Okay, he has absolutely no need to go from that to the role of the ultimate public servant, which is the president. Okay, and undergo all these issues in the process.
Yeah. The Russians are hitting us again, guys.
Yeah, I see you fine. I hear you fine. I don't know if you hear me good at this point or not.
You're freezing a little bit, but it's okay. Keep talking. So about what you were saying about yesterday, about the people that are not happy right now.
About the people that are not happy right now. Yeah, it's exactly what I've said. These people are not happy. These people are never going to be happy. As a matter of fact, I think if you have a conversation, and I've tried that, by the way, you have a conversation with a Democrat, and you ask them what would make them happy, what could Donald Trump possibly do to bring them around, to make things better. For the more conniving Democrat, the more sneaky Democrat, they'll come up with a whole series of explanations and this and the other, even though you know it's all BS. Okay, and then for the regular Democrat, they'll basically tell you flat out, there's pretty much nothing he can do because they have stigmatized him, they've labeled him, and that's the way they argue. I mean, if you've ever argued with a liberal, you know what, and you know what I'm talking about. These people, they don't argue in fact, they argue in emotion. Okay, I mean, when I've sat at a TV show or in a radio station, and I've been across from a Democrat and we start arguing, he starts, and man, he is so passionate. He has so much conviction that, I start believing him in the first 15 seconds, and then I remember, oh, you know what, you're full of crap. So that's the way I see it. They argue from the heart. A very strange heart, by the way.
I think it's easier
because
to
everything. I didn't catch it. You broke up. Negotiate with what?
Than this guys.
I wouldn't doubt it, probably. But in the end, they're both going to do the same thing: screw you over.
Yes.
So
yeah, there's no.
Listen, at the end of the day, there's no safe way, and that's why whenever I hear the talk of bipartisan, whenever I keep hearing people talk about bipartisan issues and bipartisan support for bills, and I see people like Marco Rubio, for example, who supposedly come up and they're negotiating and he's making deals with these Democrats. There's no deals to be made with these people, okay? There truly are no deals. I think we are at a point in this country where we no longer have a Democrat or Republican Party. We now have what I like to think of as a combination of the red and blue. We have a purple party, okay? And then we have the socialist. That's what the Democrats are to me. And we have what we call in Spanish los bocavidas, which are the Republicans. Okay, so that's the way I see this country laid out right now. Okay, and unfortunately, like I said, this man is here, and he's upsetting that institution.
Uh, tell us a little bit more about all the Amazon guys and all these people that don't want Donald Trump there. All this media
Well, in the case of
gurus.
Amazon, yeah, in the case of Amazon, this guy is crystal clear why he doesn't want him there. He poses a direct threat to his pocket. Okay, in the case of the New York Times, all right, one of them, one of the majority shareholders of the New York Times is Carlos Slim. Okay, and that particular individual, just because of the uncertainty in Mexico with regard to their currency, to the peso. Okay, after this whole Donald Trump business, he has gone from $67 billion down to 51 billion. Now, I understand 51 billion is not something that we're going to cry for him over. He's doing quite well. But for people like this, that's a substantial amount of money to lose. Okay, that's a very substantial amount of money. So once again, we see the New York Times, a failing newspaper, receive a loan from a foreign national, Mexican, Carlos Slim. Okay, and this becomes a tool, a hitman for the left and for the globalist agenda. Okay, that's really what the New York Times is at this point, and that's what the Washington Post is, and most of these other newspapers. If you track their origin, and you see what companies own them and who owns these other companies, you're going to see that at the end of the day, the American media is controlled by no more than a group of about 15 billionaires. Okay, and these 15 billionaires all have their own agenda.
The thing is this: um, don't these people understand that they're messing with the president of the United States? That if he prevails, he's gonna remember this. I mean, they're not afraid of anything, or what?
Well, remember that unfortunately, one of the things that makes us strong is we were able to survive a president like Obama. Okay, and that's the best example. When you have a Muslim sympathizer, communist, because to me, really, he wasn't even a socialist. Okay, this is a man who everybody that he allied himself with, and that his mentors, his friends, his teachers back at the university level, basically all of them were Marxist. Okay, so when you have a person who's a communist and a Muslim sympathizer, a person who thinks that America is a colonizer, and goes around the world apologizing for this country, when you have a guy like that in power, we have to be thankful that we have a constitution like we have, that we were able to survive him. Okay, and now we're looking at Donald Trump, and we didn't end up with a Venezuela type of situation. Okay, but unfortunately, what protected us from Obama is now what's also giving us problems for Trump. That, the way that the Constitution here is laid out, yes, the President of the United States is the most powerful man in the world, I would say, but at the same time, he's also very well regulated and kept in check by the other, uh, segments of the government. And law and legislation, when you see that they go through all these issues to pass law, and it seems like almost impossible for them, to put a bill out. It's done that way on purpose. Law is made to be difficult, and it's made to be difficult so that when you reach what you want to pass, it's perfect. So unfortunately, no, they're not scared. I don't think they're scared, man. At least not this time. I think where they're going to really get scared is during the next 4 years when he comes out again, because at that point he has very little to lose. Okay, and I would say it's open season. Now, vice versa, if we lose those next 4 years, when that whip comes back around, it's going to come around hard. Okay, it's going to come around real hard.
So what do you think about the Well, this is music to their ears for the never Trumpers. So the never Trumpers are happy right now, right? Because all these people, all the naysayers are out there very happy. Like I have a lot of my critics. They're saying, "Hey, your man, your papa's losing," and you know, I get a lot of people that go on my YouTube channel and just tell me nonsense there. But they're happy right now. They're happy with what's going on.
Oh no, what's even funnier is one of the videos that we're doing for our page that you uploaded, your intro video, for your particular show on this page, which is going to be called La Frontera. What's funny is how we uploaded this video and you already got an instant hate. We haven't even shared this thing out, okay? And you're already getting instant hate messages. But I'll be honest with you, I love those hate messages because I think that means we're giving it to them where it hurts, okay, and they're feeling it. So to me, the more upset they are, the better.
What's up, guys? What's up, Jojo? Dog. So you know how the mainstream media, they call themselves the fourth state, okay? So
right.
Actually, social media, bloggers, and people like you and me, we're called the fifth state. We're not as powerful as they are, but if we get together, we can definitely give them back for the run there. We can hit them back. And so it's up to you, me, and all the bloggers, social media to hit back.
I think what scares the hell out of the media is the fact that technology has pushed them into a corner. Okay, before, and think about it in your own life. Okay, in your own life, you would normally, and I know I did, I would turn on the news and I would want to see what's happening around the world, what's happening locally. So I don't turn on the news at all. I don't know when was the last time you turned on the news, but I don't turn it on at all. Because I look to receive my news instantly, and everything now is available in the palm of your hand. Okay, so tools like this, like what we're using right now, this gives people instant information. Okay, it gives it to them the way they want to hear it. It cuts out the fat from the middle, okay, of the BS, and it takes away the spin that the media wants to give it, and the media knows that this type of presentation, this type of platform, is eventually going to destroy them. Okay, in general. I mean, you can see, if you want to see what technology has done to media in general, all you've got to do is go back and take a look at something as simple as Blockbuster. You remember Blockbuster Corporation?
Yeah.
Okay, Blockbuster was destroyed by Netflix. Okay, Blockbuster was destroyed by Netflix. Now it's Netflix, Amazon Prime, all these other streaming services, okay, taking them out. Same thing is going to happen with this. All right, same exact thing. I think what we have is a delay. Yeah, I hear you. I think what we have is a delay. I think we're not getting disconnected. We just have a delay between when we hear each other.
Yeah, but you know that is so what you were saying, and so I guess we need to help each other. We need to encourage each other to continue to do this and to just pass the message to each other. You know, because what we're seeing on CNN and all that, it's not existent. Well, I told you, right, that Jim Morrison said that who controls the media controls reality. So we need to create a new reality. Not create a new reality. We need to inform people about the reality, the real thing.
Exactly. No, and by the same token, I'm going to be honest with you, and I make no where they said journalist. Nice as that was to hear, the truth of the truth of the matter is, I don't pretend in any way, shape, or form to be a political analyst, professional speaker, or journalist, or any of the above. Okay, what I am is, and I will say it clearly, I am an activist. I'm an activist for American values. Okay, I believe in the Bible. I believe in guns. I believe in freedom. I believe in freedom of speech. Okay, and I will advocate and I will fight for that as hard as I possibly can. I don't look to, in any way, shape, or form, negotiate or make deals. Um, okay, or try to come to an agreement with the left, because I believe that there is any way to reach an agreement with the left. Okay, I think that the left has to be kept in control and eradicated as much as possible. These people are not the people that you negotiate with. Okay, this is like negotiating with terrorists. It's just something that you can't do. And to me, they are terrorists. They're domestic, maybe not through violence, even though we can see in your situation in California and Berkeley and all the other instances that sometimes through violence. Okay, but maybe not through violence. Maybe they're doing it a little different. Yeah, but they're trying to destroy the country. In my opinion, they're trying to destroy what the core value of America is. And unfortunately, they use Latinos, they use Hispanics. Okay, they use us as their tools by providing and by pandering to our people. Okay, and basically using us as guinea pigs to reach that objective.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, do you want to talk about anything else?
Man, I feel like, but I like these talks. I think they're very productive, and the things that I mean, the fact that, look, you're in Florida. We have two completely different groups of people in states following, our particular groups, and collaborating, we're sharing information, and we're bringing truth. Okay, and I think that, like you said, is very important. We need to continue to do this. We need to continue to do this and break down the truth for people. Okay, and what this gentleman's saying right here, you have a Doug Shanley, I'm sorry, who's saying George Ramos is la raza. I believe that. Okay, I wholeheartedly believe George Ramos is la raza.
We have to stay together, Alicia said. Yes, Alicia, we have to stay together.
Like we said the other day Marco.
We always end up talking about Univision.
That's it, man. We talk about no more Univision. Remember, from now on, we can only call them something different. Poco Vision. Okay? Poca Visión y Telebasura.
Telebasura, I like that one. Telebasura.
I thought about Unibasura, but it kind of goes better with the tele part. I don't know. I like that. But I think why we always end up talking about this, about Univision and about Telemundo and all these places, news channels, is because to me, I see them as the real root of the problem in our community. To me, they are like in the era of the slaves, the African American, the black slave who would whip the other slave for the master. Okay, that's what to me Univision is. Okay, they know very well what they're doing. They know what the agenda is. Okay, and they go along with it. They follow it and they go along with it. So they're, in essence, what they're doing is they're betraying their own people. And to me, it's disgusting. Let's give them some.
They're getting too comfortable.
I agree, 100%. Okay, my friend.
Okay,
Now,
Ariel. Well,
I don't know about you.
uh, that's all I have for today.
Me too, my friend. All right, we'll talk again. We'll do another one of these. This is great. It's always fun. It's fantastic talking to you.
Excellent. All right. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, my friend. Take care. Good night.
So there you have it, guys. Poca visión. Poca visión. Vomitición. Nice live feed, guys. Thank you. Gracias. Gracias. Thank you so much. Hey, Henry, thank you for your video this morning. Thank you.